right, if you've seen the first video I produced about the car washing process, this is the sequel to that. I really didn't go over the wheel cleaning process when washing cars, and that's extremely important. But I wanted to strictly focus on the exterior, and now I'm making this video just for the wheels. So I'm filling up these 2 buckets with 2 gallons of water each. I'll then be adding the products to these buckets. The first one I'll start with is Frostbite. I'll be putting 1 ounce per gallon into the first bucket. These wheels are extremely dirty, so I'll be putting actually 3 ounces into this bucket. So you'll see I'll do 3 capfuls. In the next bucket, I'll be adding Absolute. This is what I'll be using for the exterior car wash process. And like the other video, I won't be really focusing on the car washing process. But again, I use 1 ounce per gallon of Absolute. I like to also apply a product right before I start my wheel cleaning process. This is Crystal Wash. This will help to break down those contaminants quickly. After I apply Crystal Wash, I like to follow it up with Brake Buster, which is specifically for wheels and brakes and tires. These are the tools I'll be using for the job: a microfiber wash mitt, I have a wheelbarrow brush, and I have a softer brush for the exterior wheels, and we have a hard brush for the tires, and also my small brush to get in the cracks and things. I'll then put my diluted solution of Brake Buster into the IK foam sprayer. This foam sprayer has the Schrader valve on it, so I can fill it with compressed air. Keeps me from having to pump this thing up over and over. Now let's just clear the workspace. So now I'm going to get my products here to pre-treat the wheels. I'm going to start off with the Crystal Wash. This particular product, you don't want to spray this stuff where it's dripping. You just want to get the exterior face and barrel saturated, not dripping saturated, just covered. And now I'm going to try to get in a little closer so you can kind of see that I'm not soaking the wheel, but I am getting everything covered here. Now, after hitting it with the Crystal Wash and letting it sit for a couple minutes, allow it to break down those iron contaminants, I'm going to hit it with the Brake Buster. I love this IK foam sprayer. It just allows me to get all into the cracks, get this Brake Buster everywhere that I need it. Allows it to dwell on the tire and the wheel. I also spray it in the inner fender well to try to break that debris down as well. I'm going to do both front and back tires at the same time. I like to work on one side at a time, especially when I'm working in direct sun like I am now, because I can't do this particular part in my garage. I'm going to start with the tire cleaning process. Hard bristle brush, and I'm going to scrub these tires. First the fronts, and then I'll move to the backs. But I won't be showing the process on both sets. After doing the tire scrubbing process, I then get that one smaller brush I showed you guys earlier, and I'll just get into the cracks. In these particular cracks of the wheels, the brake dust will just build up and it wants to just bond to the metal. So I find myself having to spend a little more time in these cracks. Next, I'll move into the soft brush. This is primarily to brush the exterior face of the wheel. Because it's so soft, you don't have to worry about it scratching. If you have painted wheels, the actual brush is made of almost like a plastic. So you don't even have to worry about the handle scratching your wheels if it bumps up against it. Great brush, I love it. Okay, now I'm grabbing the wheelbarrow brush. This is absolutely necessary for me. When people don't clean their wheelbarrows, I can tell immediately when I see people's cars. I mean, unless you're driving by me, that's the only way I won't tell. But if you're sitting for any time, that's the first thing I'm looking at to see if you have a clean car, is how your wheelbarrows look. This is also the longest step in this process, because those wheelbarrows are very difficult to get to and they become really dirty. So you'll see me spending a lot of time scrubbing the barrel one side to the other, in and out, and just moving this thing around. With this wheelbarrow brush, you see me dunk it into the water. You got to get all that contaminant out of it. You don't want to just continue to use the same soapy water that was on there from the beginning. You have to dunk it at least 2 or 3 times. Now I'm going to move into the wash mitt. Of course, this is a dedicated wash mitt for my wheels, so this is not the one that I would ever use for the paint. I do it specifically for my wheels. I use it for the undercarriage of the car as well. All those dirty areas, you have to have a dedicated mitt for that. So here you see I'm getting into the undercarriage, making sure to get all that debris and any mud or dirt, because that'll actually detract from your clean car look if you got that dirty undercarriage. Now I'm actually cleaning right under the body of the car. I am touching the paint, but this is part of the car that no one ever sees. Alright, now it's time to rinse off the wheels, the underbody of the car, the inner fender wells. Let's get all that debris rinsed away. And then we are mostly done after that. I'm going to pull the car into the garage and take care of the exterior wash process. Again, this video isn't focusing on that, so this will be quick. Okay, now we're at the protecting stage. What I'm spraying on the wheels at this time is P&S Beadmaker. If you're unfamiliar with P&S Beadmaker, let me give you a general breakdown. It is a spray-on paint sealant. It's designed to give your car a slick, glossy finish and strong water beading. It adds shine and slickness to the paint, or the wheels in this particular case, creates a hydrophobic protection, which allows water to bead up and roll off. It also helps repel dirt, dust, and light contaminants. It can be used on paint, glass, chrome, and trim. In this particular case, I'm using it on the wheels. It helps to repel that brake dust that this car is really known for. All right, now we're going to put some dressing on the tires. I'm going to be using P&S's Shine All performance dressing. This is very thin, water-based, but very easy to apply. Nothing special to it. I use a particularly small bristle brush applicator. It just makes it really good for these low profile tires. And that is it to cleaning your wheels properly. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the finished product.